I've got so many great questions today, but I think the main question here is preserving fruits and how it really works. Thanks for joining us today on Questions and Answers with James Townsend and Son. My first question is from, I think it's Ariel. I'm not sure quite how to pronounce it. It's on the cooking 18th century meat pie video, and it says, I'm actually quite impressed with the videos, and I think I've been watching all of them for like 2 weeks straight now after work. My question, however, is why do you not want an apple that would turn into applesauce exactly? I mean, it sounds like it would be delicious in the pie. There is no particular reason why you couldn't use a softer apple that would bake into an applesauce in this particular pie. Really, it's personal preference. We thought that most people would like that kind of a little bit of tooth left in their apples so that they wouldn't just break down all the way. But really, that's completely personal preference. This one's on the same video, the meat pie video, and it's Exbo Gaming. He says, pork and apples. My 21st century stomach is dying for some delicious 18th century cooking. Darn, I have to look into this a bit more. Thanks for piquing my interest in these recipes. Thank you. We got lots of questions on the strawberry one. This is one, it's from DePatty. What method of weighing ingredients would they have used in the 18th century, in the kitchen in the 18th century? Since this is a ratio of 1, 3, 4, a simple balance could be used. But your video got me wondering if the average housewife would have used some form of scale in the kitchen back then. Average housewife, I would imagine, would just guess. I definitely in some of the paintings of the higher, bigger kitchens for big houses and lots of people, or tavern kitchens, you will see scales. But in a standard home, if they had scales, it would be very simple, and more than likely the cook just guessed her way through it and did just fine. So unless it's really precise, you can usually pretty much guess. Spunk McCulkins, he says, those strawberries honestly look better after being preserved than before. I'm wondering though, with the proportions given, what constitutes a part? And we were talking about weight, not necessarily volume. And make sure to check out next Monday's video where we use these preserved strawberries, and we do have some interesting thoughts about how they turn out in cooking. Carrie Ribick, I think that's how you say it. She's commenting on the strawberry video again, and she says, would this work in a glass mason jar? Yep, it'll work just perfectly in a mason jar, no problem. You can use that. 57 Willie CJ, he's a common commenter. He says, a good one. Strawberries in those days were a lot smaller, so probably they didn't need to cut them. Kevin and I were having a discussion about that. I'm not sure. I think the moisture would pull out faster if they're cut. But some things don't need to be cut for that to work, like raisins. So could be they'll work just fine without cutting them. In fact, here's the next question on the same thing. Kathy Joe Tuturus. I have no idea. She says, great video. Will it work for any other fruits if they cut up? Also, can I use a mason jar? Does the lid have to be loose or airtight? Thank you so much. So on the question of other fruits, they do generalize a lot in the 18th century cookbooks. And so they'll give a recipe for one kind of fruit, and then they'll say in other ones the same as, do the same thing as you would have with this other fruit. So this technique may work with, or undoubtedly will work with, some other fruits. But we're not sure exactly which ones it would work better for, so that would be really a matter of experimentation. So this might work with peaches, but not with cherries, or, that kind of thing. So you really will have to try it out and see how it works. As for the jar, and whether the lid should be loose or tight, the recipe we used did not call for an airtight, or they would have put a bladder on the jar to seal it up. It didn't call for that, so I don't think you really need to have that to be airtight. although you definitely want to protect it from just dust and things going in. So it will need to have some kind of a lid. It did look like a little bit of fermentation was going on in there, even in the refrigerator. So if you sealed it up, it might actually pressurize. That might not be a good thing. So I'm not sure. I would just leave a loose lid. I would protect it. I wouldn't seal it up. And definitely, I would suggest refrigeration on this. I don't know how. In fact, the next question is, how long will this last? And we don't know. That's my homesteading project. He says, how long will this last? We don't know how long it'll last. That's why we really do suggest the refrigerator thing. But they expected them to last probably till the next season. So you can expect them to last, 3 months, 6 months, maybe 9 months. Strawberries aren't good all year round, aren't fruitful the entire season. So I would expect them to last that 9 months or less. And they would have stored them in a very cool place, as cool a place as they could get, their storage cellar or whatever. So I do suggest storing them in your refrigerator to get the same kind of effect. Here's a question, Chef 2389, and he says it's on the coffee video, and he says, where is Dave Taylor's store located? And Dave is located right here in the same town we are, right here in northern Indiana in Pierceton. So he's got an antique store. It's just right down the street, just a couple blocks over. Oh, and if you're just interested in green coffee beans or even some of the roasted coffee that Dave was talking about, we do offer that on our website. I'll put a link down in the description. A last question here is Molly Hamley. She says, can I request a catalog if I don't live in the United States? Yes, we do send catalogs overseas. So if you're interested in a catalog, you can go to our website. Don't use the standard catalog request form, though, because those are for free catalogs that get sent out here inside the United States. If you want an overseas catalog, you'll have to order it from the actual catalog page. So you'll order it just like it was a product. That page describes the ordering process for catalogs overseas. I will make sure to put a link in the description so you can check that out. I've got a couple of quick shout outs. I really want to thank Dusty Old Thing. Again, they've been sharing some of our videos, and if you're new to our channel, welcome. And if you haven't checked out Dusty Old Thing, make sure to check them out on Facebook. And I also want to thank the Patriot Nurse, and that's on Facebook too, for sharing some of our videos. I think she's got a great YouTube channel too, so make sure to check that out. I want to thank all you guys out there for your tremendous questions, your very, very nice, kind comments that really help us keep making videos. It really encourages so much to keep working on those videos. And I really want to thank you for spending time with us today. Thanks for watching. If you're a new viewer and you haven't subscribed, press the subscribe button up here. That'll take you to a spot where you can subscribe. That really is the best way to get notification of all the new videos that are out. I want to thank everyone for watching.